You arrive at a threshold. Looking through, you're not totally sure what is on the other side. You know there's no going around. You have to go through. So you turn and you look back. And when you do, you see that everything behind is what it took to get you there. How you were raised, your parents, your siblings, school, your first job, relationships, your second job, your 12th job, all the things that got you there. And it's understood that when you go through this threshold, you can no longer live the ordinary life in the ordinary way. It changes you. These thresholds are adversity, challenges. We used to live in community where our parents and aunties and uncles and grandparents were all around us, and as we walked around in life, we didn't need direction. We knew what to do. We all worked as one, wordlessly. We knew when it was time to get up. We knew when it was time to gather. We knew when it was time to come back and build the fire. We all just knew what went where. And this came from true support. It came from elders excited to know you and see, who are you? What is your genius? What do you have to offer? What are your strengths? And as they saw them and got excited about them, they cultivated them. And you became anymore in American culture, and I don't mean the myriad cultures that exist inside of America. I mean the culture of America, of being American. We just don't know what to do. We want money. We're supposed to do some things, make money, have certain things that show that we have money. Family is important because our parents got hurt and their parents got hurt, and there are broken aspects to us as people. We don't know what time to wake up. We don't know what time to build the fire. We don't know what to gather from the earth. Most of us don't know where our food comes from. And I'm not here to talk about permaculture and how to recognize herbs. While that would be very enjoyable, I'm here to talk about separating the chaff from the grain. And you're like, isn't that permaculture? Isn't that? No. Nope. It's an analogy. Yep. The threshold is the place where we separate what is useful from what is not useful. And in our case, we're also going to hold you. It's not a safe thing to do, to open yourself up, to be vulnerable, to grow. When you build a muscle, you tear it. Then it grows stronger. So we are going to beat and we're going to hold. So threshold is as safely as possible an unsafe place. It's an unsafe place. Intentionally unsafe. We have to be able to come together and gather and do work together, trusting that we can be unsafe together. It's the only way to ever get to safety. What a definitive I've just given. the only way to ever get to safety is to practice being unsafe, to learn how to be comfortable in our discomfort. I like to call it a women's circle. It's not true, because it's a circle for everyone. The reason I call it a women's circle is because we're going to talk about menses and we're going to talk about birthing, because these analogies, those experiences are analogous to the life that we're living. So it's a women's circle, but it's for all humans. Any human who wants to take the demons that they keep on a leash, those disenfranchised parts of their self, who are the ones who self-sabotage, who, when you're at work and someone says something and that demon comes out and starts roaring at that person and that person gets scared and you feel embarrassed, the idea is that we don't carry our demons through those thresholds and then they do that Pokemon thing where they become like the next most powerful version of themselves. The idea is that we take those demons in this room, all of us, unleash them, and we start playing with them and getting to know them and starting to call them by their names so that they become our allies. They become our protectors. We used to be cultivated by our ancestors. We used to be cultivated by our grandparents and our aunties and uncles. It's a culture of bankruptcy within a culture of greed. We are greedy because we are bankrupt. The things that we deeply desire aren't actually money. They are the things of the soul. I have to share the words of Joan Halifax because they are potent. This is from A Fruitful Darkness by Joan Halifax. She says, "We meet these protectors in those personal experiences and collective rights that are threshold experiences, where the husk of alienation is broken down. The word threshold means the place where things are thrashed or beaten apart. It is one place where we make immediate the present. In such a place, we discover that we are immersed in each other. We are mixed up with all beings. Only because of differences can beings be linked together in relationships. Distinctions imply relationships. Relationships call us into the body of initiation." Each of these threshold experiences are initiations. We have mini ones. We have little moments where, oh, that was really hard. But we have big ones. Big ones that change the course of our lives. And these sometimes happen once, but they usually happen more than once. This is the cycle of life. This is life, death, life. And this is why I call this a women's circle, because women do this monthly. The cycle of life, death, life is the cycle of nature. It is what women's bodies naturally do, and that's why I call this a women's circle. But as Joan Halifax says, it's the relationships that make it possible. It's the differences between us that make it possible. I'm Jessica Joy, and I'm facilitating this gathering. When I say I'm facilitating, I mean that my experience of life, I come from adversity from childhood. I have aced my childhood, and by that I mean I have had adverse childhood experiences, ACEs, and in acing my childhood, I had adversity to overcome from the beginning, and it just kept stacking up, and I was trying to find a way to start to parse that down, and I began working with some shamans, and I began doing some healing, and I have now been apprenticing with those shamans for the last 6 years. Spirit is leading this circle. You can call spirit by any name that you like: God, goddess, wolf, river, air, fire, whatever you like. The breath of life in all things is what I call spirit. Spirit is leading this circle. I do traditional shamanic journeying to a sonic driver, which means a drum beat. I can just do this and journey. I'm journeying right now. No, I'm not. I'm here. Helping spirits. They offer the curriculum. This isn't coming from me. I'm going to be here to facilitate, and that's what I want to talk about, is the edges, the boundaries. Because to have an unsafe space, which I believe is necessary, we have to do the best we can to make it safe. A lot of circles like this talk about no crosstalk when someone is sharing, talk about no responses to someone else's share. I'm not able to hold a circle like that. And by that I mean, that's not what my helping spirits are asking of me. It is in these relationships, as we just heard from Joan Halifax, it is in these relationships that the work will be done. When one person shares, it can incite something in us. It can incite something in us where we almost can't even stop our mouths. And when we're in these types of circles where we're asked to not respond, it may be welling up in us that trauma response that creates a dramatic thing that starts a whole. Those are the disenfranchised parts of ourselves that we want to learn how to communicate with, so that we can take them off their leashes, so they can walk beside us and we can trust them to protect us and not trust them to hurt us and hurt other people. So when I say it's an unsafe space, I mean I'm inviting you to a space where you may get triggered, where you may feel hurt, where you may feel discomfort. In fact, I certainly hope that you do. Because when we can't stop ourselves, that is, as we say in my community, that is up for healing. It may show you where healing is needed. What this circle is about is practicing with yourself. This work might feel hard that you come to circle for. Healing is easy. Carrying around your pain is hard. Learning how to be comfortable in the discomfort of your pain doesn't mean enduring pain and staying and keeping and holding and hoarding the pain. It means knowing when to receive healing, when to ask for that help. You, by showing up, are bringing your ancestors with you, and your ancestors are going to help grow you and pull that genius out of you and help cultivate you by us being in circle. That's the work that we're doing in the threshold. There is a commitment that I'm asking for. And it's not a commitment to show up to every circle. This is not one of those circles. You can show up to one a year, because that may be as much as you can metabolize of this work. And it might take that much time for you to integrate and practice and remember, I don't have to live life this way. I've gone through the threshold and I can live life this way. It may take a whole year to integrate. Just come to one. What we are going to do is there will be subsequent videos, and you will get to hear what work we've done every month. And you could do that work on your own if you want. I want to encourage you to come because, like Joan Halifax says, it's in the relationships. It's in the differences. What may have hurt me may be your gifts. That may be your skill. That may be your genius coming out. And that might hurt me. So that's where my work needs to be done, is in that place where the hurting is. Our hurts are our roadmaps. This is the direction that you go to become you. This is the direction that you go to cultivate. This is the direction that you go so that when you get to a threshold, you can walk through it confidently. So the commitment that I'm asking for, commit to being intimate with yourself. Commit to being intimate with the witness of other people. Commit to showing your work. I can ask you to show up. I can ask you to be curious. I can ask you to have compassion for yourself and others. I can ask you to try. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to hold a space where you can come try. And the idea is that your ancestors will meet you there. And I'm not talking about those ancestors who need you to heal your family line and do that heal that generational trauma. I am talking about those good, true, and beautiful ancestors who rose up and met the challenges of their time in a good way, and who are able to cultivate you to do the same. We can talk about healing generational trauma later. once you are cultivated enough to face the challenges in your own life. You can't take on generational trauma until you can figure out how to take on your own trauma. We start with us. When we heal us, we start to do that work of healing generational trauma. Can you commit to yourself? Can you commit to facing what hurts? I'm not saying that the only way is to face what hurts. We don't always have to look it straight in its eye. Naming it, renaming it, but being curious about it, following it. All I'm going to do is show up and listen. I'm going to listen to the helping spirits and the ancestors. I'm going to listen to you. And I'm asking you to come listen to yourself. Listen to what you say with the prompts that come up, with the activities that come up. Listen to what you say. Listen to what your body says and feels. And I'm asking you to interact with that, to come into relationship with the discomfort, to come into relationship with it, because when we push it away, we take away our ability to walk through that threshold with agency.